Narendra Modi's story is one of remarkable ambition. Born into poverty in Gujarat, his early life was a testament to resilience. The young Modi worked as a tea seller, a formative experience that instilled in him a strong work ethic. It also forged a deep connection with the common man, a connection that would later define his political career. Modi's interest in politics surfaced early. He joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS, a Hindu nationalist organization, as a young man. The RSS became his training ground, shaping his worldview and political ideology. It was here that Modi honed his organizational skills, earning a reputation for dedication and discipline. His rise within the RSS paved the way for his entry into the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP. This was a turning point in Modi's life, marking his formal entry into the political arena. His early political career showcased his natural ability to connect with the masses. Modi's tireless campaigning and his ability to articulate the aspirations of ordinary Indians propelled him to prominence within the BJP. He was quickly recognized as a rising star, his work ethic and charisma setting him apart. This period laid the foundation for his future political success. In 2001, Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat. This marked the beginning of a long and controversial reign. His tenure was characterized by both economic progress and social unrest, a dichotomy that would come to define his leadership style. Modi implemented pro-business policies that transformed Gujarat's economy. The state witnessed significant investment and a surge in employment opportunities. Under his leadership, Gujarat became an economic powerhouse, a model for development that other states aspired to emulate. However, this period was also marred by the horrific 2002 Gujarat riots. The riots, sparked by the deaths of Hindu pilgrims in a train fire, exposed the deep communal tensions simmering beneath the surface of Gujarat's economic success. The violence primarily targeted the Muslim community, leaving a trail of death and destruction in its wake. Modi's handling of the riots remains a subject of intense debate. Critics accuse him of complicity in the violence, alleging that his government failed to protect the Muslim community. The riots cast a long shadow over Modi's tenure as chief minister, raising questions about his commitment to secularism and his fitness to hold high office. Despite the controversy, Modi's economic record and his image as a strong and decisive leader resonated with a large section of the population. He emerged from the ashes of the riots as a polarizing figure, admired by some and reviled by others. Narendra Modi's political journey transformed him into a charismatic and polarizing figure. His ability to connect with the masses, coupled with his image as a strong and decisive leader, propelled him to national prominence. Modi's speeches, delivered with a mix of Hindi and Gujarati, resonated with people across India, particularly among the youth and the aspirational middle class. He recognized the power of technology and social media early on, utilizing these platforms to engage with voters and disseminate his message. Modi's savvy use of technology allowed him to bypass traditional media outlets and connect directly with the electorate. This gave him unprecedented control over his narrative and allowed him to build a dedicated online following. His online presence and carefully crafted public persona helped him cultivate a loyal following. Modi projected an image of himself as a tech-savvy and modern leader, a stark contrast to the aging leadership of the Congress Party. Modi's rise coincided with a period of growing dissatisfaction with the ruling Congress Party. The Congress Party, plagued by allegations of corruption and inefficiency, was seen as out of touch with the aspirations of a rapidly changing India. Modi capitalized on this sentiment, positioning himself as the harbinger of change and a break from the old order. The 2014 Indian general election was a watershed moment in Indian politics. Narendra Modi, leading the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP, campaigned on a platform of economic development, good governance, and national security. His campaign skillfully tapped into the aspirations of a nation yearning for change and eager to shed the legacy of corruption and slow growth. Modi's message resonated with voters across India, particularly among the youth and the urban middle class. His promises of economic reforms, job creation, and a crackdown on corruption struck a chord with a population disillusioned with the incumbent Congress Party. The BJP's landslide victory, securing a single-party majority, was a testament to Modi's popularity and the widespread desire for change. The 2014 election marked the beginning of a new era in Indian politics. It signaled the rise of the BJP as the dominant political force and ushered in an era of Hindu nationalist politics. Modi's victory was not merely an electoral triumph, it represented a fundamental shift in the country's political landscape. Narendra Modi's tenure as Prime Minister was characterized by a focus on economic reforms and an assertive foreign policy. His government implemented a series of economic reforms aimed at attracting foreign investment, improving infrastructure, and boosting economic growth. Key initiatives included the Goods and Services Tax, aimed at simplifying India's complex tax structure, and the Make in India program, designed to promote domestic manufacturing. On the global stage, Modi sought to raise India's profile and assert its role as a leading power. He cultivated strategic partnerships with key global players, including the United States, Japan, and Australia, while also engaging with traditional allies like Russia. Modi's foreign policy was marked by a pragmatic approach, balancing India's interests with the need to navigate a complex geopolitical landscape. His government also undertook ambitious initiatives to address social challenges, such as poverty, sanitation, and women's empowerment. Programs like the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign sought to address critical social issues and improve the lives of millions of Indians. Despite his achievements, Narendra Modi's tenure was not without its share of challenges and criticisms. Concerns were raised about the erosion of democratic institutions, the rise of Hindu nationalism, and increasing intolerance towards religious minorities. Critics argue that Modi's government sought to silence dissent, weaken independent institutions, and promote a Hindu nationalist agenda. The rise of Hindu vigilantism and attacks on religious minorities raised concerns about the safety and security of India's diverse population. Critics accuse the government of turning a blind eye to such incidents and emboldening right-wing Hindu groups. The government, however, maintained that it was committed to protecting the rights of all citizens, regardless of their religion or caste. Modi's economic policies also faced criticism for failing to address the concerns of the poor and marginalized. While his government's economic reforms led to significant growth, critics argue that the benefits did not trickle down to the poorest sections of society. Concerns were also raised about rising unemployment, particularly among the youth, and the widening gap between the rich and the poor. The 2024 Indian general election delivered a surprising setback to Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Despite entering the election as the clear favorites, the BJP lost its parliamentary majority, securing only 240 seats. This unexpected outcome forced Modi to form a coalition government, a scenario that complicated his political agenda and potentially limited his ability to implement his vision for India. The election results highlighted the limits of Modi's popularity and the electorate's willingness to punish the BJP for perceived failures. Voters expressed their dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the economy, concerns about democratic backsliding, and the BJP's focus on Hindu nationalist issues. The opposition, led by a resurgent Congress party under Rahul Gandhi, successfully capitalized on these sentiments, mobilizing voters against the BJP. The 2024 election serves as a reminder of the resilience of Indian democracy and the importance of addressing the concerns of the electorate. It demonstrates that even the most popular leaders are not immune to electoral setbacks, and that voters have the power to hold their elected representatives accountable. Narendra Modi's legacy as Prime Minister of India is a complex and multifaceted one. He will be remembered as a transformative leader who left an indelible mark on India's political, economic, and social landscape. His tenure has been characterized by ambitious economic reforms, a more assertive foreign policy, and a focus on social welfare programs. Modi's supporters view him as a visionary leader who ushered in an era of economic progress and national pride. They credit him with transforming India's global image, boosting economic growth, and implementing key social reforms. His detractors, however, argue that his legacy is tarnished by his government's record on human rights, the erosion of democratic institutions, and the rise of Hindu nationalism. Only time will tell how history will ultimately judge Narendra Modi's legacy. However, one thing is certain: his tenure as Prime Minister has fundamentally reshaped India's political landscape and left an enduring impact on the world's largest democracy.